So, this next part is fun, but you must be careful. We're seventh graders, and I'm assuming that we're allowed to cut things in our homes, but I don't want to make a false assumption. So, please make sure you have your parents' permission and you're being very, very careful. The next step is to split our model in half so that we have an Eastern hemisphere and the Western hemisphere. And then we're going to label them as such. Now, you can't just cut it anywhere. You have to cut right where you have your prime meridian and your international date line. So I'm going to attempt to show you all how this will look as I'm cutting. All right, I've readjusted my camera here, and I'm not going to be looking at the camera. So if it goes off screen, I apologize, but I need to, since it's a sharp knife, I want to keep my eye on what I'm doing. So I'm finding my prime meridian and international dateline, and that is my halfway point, and I'm just going to cut my model very carefully and safely right in half. Okay, now I have my separate hemispheres. And we know that hemisphere is half of a sphere. And so now you see here that I have my eastern hemisphere and my western hemisphere. Okay, so I'm going to press pause and turn this around so I can show you how I have the two hemispheres. So you can see here that when I cut it, I have the hemispheres, the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere. You may be asking yourself, well, which is which? All you have to do is look and see which way was east. You already labeled these all the way up to 180 to the east and to the west. You can also think about our compass rose again. And we know that east is going to be here and west is going to be here. So I separate it, and now I have my Eastern Hemisphere and my Western Hemisphere.